APC, First Lady of Nigeria Aisha Buhari, wife of the President-elect Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and wife of the Vice President-elect Nana Kashim Shettima for their unwavering support throughout the campaign. Others acknowledged are the leadership and APC caucus of the 9th National Assembly, the APC governors and their wives, led by the chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, ministers and other members of the executive arm of government, private organizations for their notable contributions to the party's victory. APC 2023 Tinubu Shettima presidential campaign was inaugurated in September 2022 to prosecute the 2023 presidential election. Two other issues: parents and guidance of candidates for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations slated to commence across the country tomorrow have been asked to stop accompanying their words to the CBT examination centers to avoid congestion and undue interferences. JAM Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede, while speaking on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, also emphasized that early printing of slips and punctuality are critical for UTME candidates. Let's hear more from Butua Miller.
JAM says it's ready for Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination commencing tomorrow. The examination body is also ready for possible hitches, hence it has embarked on continuous sensitization of candidates on various platforms.
We have created some testing ground and we have mobilized our staff, both permanent and adult staff, to be on the field. We believe it will be better.
That's what I refer to as PLN, that the question the candidate should ask himself: one, has the candidate printed his notification slip? If you have printed your notification slip, have you made effort to locate the center where you're sitting for the examination?
Vice Chancellors of designated centers also indicate their readiness.
In the last few years, JAM has considerably improved in its performance, and being the final takers of the candidates at the end of the day, we are always ready to cooperate with JAM. We are always willing to work with JAM.
In this period of digitalization, it's easy for us to get the messages down wherever our centers might be. In Ekiti State, for instance, we have 12 centers, and each center has been fully briefed.
The Vice Chancellor of Covenant University, Ota, sees the opportunity to state that the institution does not discriminate against students.
We have quite a lot of persons, ladies, women, who wear hijab on our campus for academic functions and no discrimination. A number of them even attend our workshop, conferences, and even the lab. I've even had cause to even work and assist a hijab-wearing lady to conduct some experiments in my lab at Covenant University.
The JAM Registrar advised Nigerians not to play up fault lines, as Nigerian universities and tertiary institutions are aware that Nigeria is a secular state. Butua Miller, NTA News.
As the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari winds down, some Nigerians say the president will be remembered for fulfilling his promise on the Calabar-Itu road. Clement Barikiu has an update on the road project.
Awarded at the cost of 185 billion naira, the 28.6 kilometers road project has been one of the campaign promises of past leaders before President Muhammadu Buhari. Work is progressing at the 3 sections of the road project, though slowed down by compensation issues.
This side is good, and there is no problem in this side. They are working in this side very good.
This is my father palm fruit. They have not paid us, but that's what we are using to feed ourselves.
If you see from the 0 point there, they cannot continue the job from there because of a lot of houses here, they have not paid compensation. So that is the major challenge that even the contractor have with the community.
This one dream comes true. I've told you how much we have waited, how long we have waited. If without compensation they've come this far, then God knows how far they would have gone.
The challenges notwithstanding, the federal government is committed to completing the road projects.
This compensation issue
is a national issue, and it has to do with some policy changes and all that. But I think the minister is working seriously on that. He's handling the matter, and I believe very soon there will be a resolution on that.
The Calabar-Itu road project, with a 2-year completion tenure, is being financed through the NNPC tax credit. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has ordered the State Building Control Agency to pull down buildings that do not have the permit of the Lagos State government and those that violate waterfront setbacks to forestall the recurring incidents of collapsed buildings across the metropolis. He gave the order after taking an on-the-spot assessment of building constructions at various sites in Banana Island in Ikoyi area of Lagos. Musa Toliet report.
Clearing of rubble at the scene of the ill-fated 7-story building, which recently went down, was ongoing when Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu arrived at Banana Island. 3 adjoining uncompleted buildings, oblivious of their fate, tower above the rubble. The unfortunate incident informed the inspection of other construction sites scattered across Banana Island. However, illegality and flagrant violations of building codes stared the governor in the face, even at sites where the seal of the state government expressed disapprovals.
We love all of you. And you said I would give you authority, we're giving you all the authority. You bring back to me? No.
More worrisome was the discovery of various sand mining locations where encroachment on waterfronts have remained bold. A visibly concerned Governor Sanwo-Olu vows to clamp down on contractors who cut corners and endanger the lives of residents across the metropolis.
The illegality is real, and so that's why we're going around other properties in Banana. You've all seen the extent of what I would call unapproved extension into the water. This is a total recklessness of all of the developers, and we would make a strong point out of this place. And of course, our own officers who are also not alive to their responsibility. You know, we've had to change staff here and there, but what we're doing right now is set up a small external committee, a 7-man committee, who we've given them 2 weeks to independently also ascertain, you know, what has gone on here. And so they should finish their work by maybe towards the end of next week.
The governor says town planning and building control regulations will be strengthened to curb sharp practices in the built subsector across the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Still staying in Lagos, this time we're joining Michael there. I'm sure he'll give us update on the growing trend of building collapse in the state. Michael.
Thank you, Ruth. Regulatory agencies must consistently track sealed structures in construction sites to discourage continuation of works and defective projects. This call is coming in the wake of another incident of collapsed building, this time a 3-story building under construction on Ladipo Oluwole Street, Apapa, Lagos. Joe Popola reports that eyewitnesses say the rain hastened the collapse.
The 3-story building, which is under construction at plot 5996, number 43B, Ladipo Oluwole Street, GRA, Apapa, Lagos, is the latest addition to the statistics of building collapse in Lagos State. The site was initially sealed by Lagos State Building Control Agency for some infractions, but the order was defied as the contractor continued the project. A resident of Ladipo Oluwole Street attributed the incident to lack of due diligence by the contractor handling the project.
When the construction was on, the regulatory agencies have been here severally, maybe like 3 or 4 times. They get it sealed, and eventually, within a few days, it will be unsealed, open again.
One of the workers, Obinna David, who escaped from the building before the collapse, said he felt intermittent vibrations on one of the floors and hurriedly left.
So it still started falling. So I will find the capital guy. So then I ran up. After I go up, I check, I didn't see him. So the house was really shaking. I was shaking badly. So from this back of the house and the last floor, the scaffolding, so from that side to fall out. So that's how I saved my life.
Fortunately, no life was lost, neither was there any injury of any sort. With this latest building collapse, it is expected that relevant regulatory agencies will intensify their oversight responsibilities to prevent a reoccurrence. For now, the building has been sealed by the Lagos State Building Control Agency for further investigation. Officials of the Lagos State Neighborhood Watch were on ground to ensure safety within and around the building. LAPSCA officials who were at the scene declined comments. In Lagos, Joel Bukwola, NTA News.
In the midst of changing dynamics to curbing security threats, the Nigerian Army is focused on strengthening current frameworks and leveraging on new trends to tackle security challenges that has continued to bedevil the country. To achieve these, the Army is intensifying strategies on sustainability of interagency synergy to ensure successes in national security. Lynn Lenike reports.
The Nigerian Army has remained resolute in carrying out its statutory duties as entrenched in the Constitution. This middle cadre operational training is crucial to determining the successes recorded in planning and execution of operations, programs, and policies of the Nigerian Army. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, represented calls for sustainability of interagency collaboration to guarantee successes in security operations.
It is my expectation that the diverse issues discussed and lessons learned in the cadre will be put to use for the overall benefit of the Nigerian Army, other security services and agencies to enhance the discharge of our professional duties to our dear nation, Nigeria.
The General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Obinna Ajunwa, urged officers and men to remain professional always while embracing training as a panacea for success.
The international reviews have actually shown that we have done so much in making sure that we curtail the activities of terrorists. We will continue to train to ensure that we maintain the monopoly of legitimate violence.
Placing premium on the training of personnel and building cordial relationships with the host community, the Army believes will assist in combating security challenges. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages, saying when we return, Nationwide continues from our Just Network Center, where Felicia is standing by. Please stay.
We begin with issues of health as the Jos University Teaching Hospital says it will sustain sensitizations on suicide prevention and substance abuse in view of their negative effects on families. This was at a lecture on resilience building and substance abuse in Jos. Sadatu Mohammed Kafa reports.
Suicide and substance abuse are common in the society, particularly among the youths. The voices are of great concern to individuals, parents, government, and even non-governmental organizations. Jos University Teaching Hospital is also worried over the state of substance abuse and assembled these participants to sensitize and pass the message to the various communities for positive change.
It's been powerful to help those that are working or those that are not working, so that we can be able to assist people that are finding themselves in such a way that they don't have hope in life.
We are expecting that at the end of it all, as a community of youth workers, how we can identify people that have intention to commit suicide.
The management of Jos University Hospital pledges to sustain the fight against substance abuse for a better society.
Re-education of our staff on suicide and how to identify it.
To train them on how to have coping skills to cope with work, to cope with life. We hope that the training would help them, help arm them with these skills. And resilience is the ability to be able to bounce back and to be able to take charge of ourselves when we hear disturbing news, disturbing stories.
In Jos, Saad to Mohammed Kafa, NTA News.
And in an effort to boost effective healthcare services, Plateau State Government has inaugurated its Advisory Committee on Neglected Tropical Diseases in Jos. Mary Replong-Domtur has details.
Neglected tropical diseases are a group of bacterial parasitic diseases that adversely affect people in poor living conditions, mostly in the tropical and subtropical regions due to lack of environmental sanitation. Some of the tropical diseases include guinea worm, rabies, schistosomiasis, snake bite envenoming, among others. Creating awareness on tropical diseases and taking ownership of the program by beneficiaries is among the terms of reference of the 17-member committee inaugurated by the Plateau State Commissioner for Health.
To reduce the morbidity, disability, and mortality due to LTDs via prevention, control, and effective and efficient management.
Representatives of the Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Abdullahi Ali, and State Coordinator, World Health Organization, Dr. Mahdi Musa, say the constitution of the committee is timely, as it will be of immense help in eliminating neglected tropical diseases in Plateau State. Co-chair of the committee and Executive Secretary, Plateau State Primary Health Care Board, Dr. Livinus Miakwap, notes that the committee will facilitate collaboration between government and partners to eradicate the diseases in the states. In Jos, Mary Replong-Domtu, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Jos. Let's rejoin Ruth in Abuja for more on Nationwide. Ruth?
Thank you very much, Felicia. What would have been a disaster was averted in Yola, Adamawa State, when a tanker loaded with substance believed to be petroleum product fell and started discharging its content. Rayan Ubala reports that firefighters and other security agents responded quickly to control the situation.
The incident occurred Monday morning at the popular police barracks flyover when the tanker driver is said to have lost control. Eyewitnesses say the moment the tanker is falling, the head detached from the body and immediately started discharging its contents, believed to be petroleum product.
Sitting here, the driver, I don't know if only he rushed, but before we know, we just saw the head moving on and the tanker just fall down and the first start going down the distance, moving around the street.
Yeah, we are standing at the roadside with my friend. When the car came, he lose control. Immediately he lose control, the tank was removed out of the front head. And around the time the tank was fall down and the car was leaving already leave the tank.
While men of the Nigerian Police and the Federal Road Safety Corps are on ground controlling crowd and vehicular movements, the firefighters are also making effort to evacuate the product to another tanker to avert disaster.
Our boys, when we had it, our boys were asked to go. We deployed them there. They went there on time. In less than 2 or 5 minutes, they were there, and they started controlling traffic. The best was to divert traffic to the routes so that they will be able to allow the tanker a space. Fortunately, we now call the fire service, and the fire service were also there in case if there was any fire outbreak.
No casualty was recorded on the incident, and the onlookers were also prevented from coming closer to the scene.
The report has it that people have started evacuating the products until the quick intervention of security agents to control the situation. In Yola, Rayan Ubala, NTA News.
Following a fatal crash that occurred at World Oil OPEC on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Sunday morning, the Court Marshal Dauda Alibiu calls on vehicle operators to make routine vehicle maintenance a priority to eradicate road mishap resulting from mechanical deficiencies. A statement by the Court Public Education Officer, BC Kazim, notes that the main cause of the crash, which killed 7 people, was brake failure. which resulted in loss of control. Injured persons were rescued to Lagos State Accident and Emergency Center, Old Toll Gate, which the dead bodies were deposited at Ogun State University Teaching Hospital, mortuary in Shagamu, Ogun State. Some concerned stakeholders have appealed to both regular and ad hoc staff of the National Population Commission to be dedicated and honest in executing responsibilities during the coming census for the country to reap the immense benefits attached to the exercise. Mohammed Musa Askira, who interacted with stakeholders, highlights some of the gains Nigeria stand to benefit with a successful census count.
Nigerians need to see population count as an instrument for socio-economic planning rather than a tool to hold sway section of the country over another, as wrongly being perceived in some quarters. Data and figures obtained from an accurate population census will give room for the optimum utilization of the nation's human and natural resources for the betterment of the country.
There is no any country that will succeed without knowing the exact number of its citizens.
It also has the essential benefit of that leaders cannot design anything as far as their people or subjects are concerned without knowing their actual number. Because it's then that you can assess how many taxpayers you have, how many able-bodied workers you have, both males and females, what kind of educational need you will have in terms of secondary, primary, and education like that. What is the rate of expansion of the population?
These could be used by governments to plan and execute policies and programs that will impact positively on the lives and livelihood of the citizens. Knowing the population size of an area, economic and educational status, as well as other demographic variables, will give governments an idea in determining the needed infrastructure and healthcare provisions, among others.
It's from the population that you determine how many science students do you have and how many do you need. Do you need more science students than art students and things like that? What is more essential for economic development, social development?
To know the geographical location, the geographical division, how many are rural dwellers, how many are urban dwellers, and to know how many percentage are literate, what is the percentage of illiteracy. That will enable government plan for its development.
All and sundry, therefore, must ensure the success of the 2023 Nigeria population census to address the country's numerous development challenges. Mohammed Musa Askira, NTA News.
17 years after the 2006 national population census and the most populous nation of the continent, Nigeria is set to conduct another head count in 2023. Experts in Yobe State noted that this development is a right step in the right direction towards obtaining credible and reliable database for national planning. Talatu Lamon reports.
Growth and development of any nation is believed to be anchored on its population strength. Therefore, the nation's demographic trend is said to have remained critical for making informed decisions on issues such as resource allocation, budgeting, and infrastructural development. This can only be achieved through census.
Population is a very critical process to be carried out once you are looking at planning for the future, planning for today. Then you still need the population to enable you to evaluate the past. So that is population planning.
Other benefits of census to socioeconomic development include investments, interventions in the areas of social amenities and allocation of parliamentary seats or political delineation.
Come out to be counted. It will help planning. It will help organization and the achievement of goals.
Today, if you don't have data about anything, there is nothing you...
Right. Let's bring you this breaking news now. The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is back to Nigeria after a month-long vacation, or should I say holiday, in Paris. The President-elect arrived the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport there just now. It's happening now, actually. Earlier, we tried to connect with our correspondent, Musbahu Danwahab. We couldn't get a pure, clean signal. Well, those are the pictures there of the President-elect arriving in Nigeria at this time. Can we get an ambience? Okay, all right, let's move on. Still on population census, the National Population Commission has dismissed reports indicating that its server was hacked, a development responsible for the postponement of the local government area level training of the supervisors and enumerators for the 2023 population and housing census. Okay, we'll have to pause this report as we're connecting back to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport to get a bit of ambience there from the pictures you're seeing on the screen right now. So let's get an ambience. There you have it. Those were live feed from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu arriving Nigeria, and the crowd, it's well understood, Nigerians are eager and excited to see him back to the country, hale and hearty. Let's move on to other issues. Being an essential worker puts one in the state of denying oneself to protect the country's national interest as well as service to humanity. However, as the Muslim faithful celebrate Eid al-Fitr, how do this set of people enjoy this special day? Let's hear more from Oyeyemi Ajayi.
Driving through one of the busiest roads in the Federal Capital Territory, the road was quite empty.
which doesn't depict its normal nature. The reason is not far-fetched. Eid al-Fitr celebration, and that explains that most of the people are in their respective homes or places of celebration. But guess what? There are some people who do not have that luxury, as their respective occupations remain paramount. These are people that are awake when others are fast asleep. They are at their duty post when others are resting, standing when others are sitting. These are the essential workers.
Here is Moses Abangu, one of the major editors in NTA News 24. You can't put him on the spot for dozing off. This is because he had worked through the night to ensure that the bulletin is in order. Good morning, people of God.
How are you doing?
Fine. How are you doing?
Meet Dennis Adegunloye, the news producer of the day, with his vigilant eyes gazed at the system just to ensure a flawless news production. Your delectable on-the-screen personalities, Jide Bello, Bosade Abel, and Ruth Akwele.
And so I have to be at work, and based on the fact that I enjoy what I do, I don't really see holidays as a big deal.
Deborah Agbola, a manager, news and current affairs, is not also spared despite being a birthday. To them, being an essential service worker comes with a load of responsibility which cannot just be ignored, as their career hangs in the balance of national interest, stability, security and sovereignty of the country.
It's not easy because most times in our local parlance they will say, "Now only you they do government work." But at least the people around me understand the nature of my job, and I am very grateful for that.
Essential workers should be given the desired attention that they deserve. I'm talking about doctors now, even media practitioners like us. There should be a sense of recognition.
Though as an essential worker, one doesn't have much luxury of time as others who are celebrating Salah, but the delicacy of the celebration cannot just be missed. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
All right, let's cross over to Kaduna now to join another essential worker like me, talking about Salamatu. I'm sure she has a bit of that also. Salamatu.
Thank you very much, Ruth, and glad to have you join us for the continuation of services and ensure seamless operations day in and day out. A particular group of people who make sure these duties are carried out are referred to as essential workers. Belikisu Nuhu takes a look at the role of essential workers during the holiday.
An essential worker is one whose duty is substantial, not incidental, and cannot be omitted or changed. The group of people who perform duties include doctors, nurses, teachers, security agents, and others.
And it is a busy place, it's always busy. We rest. Day in, day out, we don't rest. Patients have been referred to various hospitals. Gomna 1, I used to go to private hospital, many places. They've been referred to Baraudiku. We always try to put in, or give in our best.
As the word essential being, we are that essential. If we don't show up, essential duties like what we do will not run, so we have to be at work. It is what we signed up for, so even in times of crisis, they follow us home to get us to work. We like it or not. Our duty is essential, we have to be around.
The duties are carried out every day of the week, month or year, even if a holiday is declared.
Say when you love what you do, you don't work a day. So we love our job. We're always eager to be at the, no matter what happens. Essential work or no, public or not, we show up to work.
The doctors, the nurses, everybody is around. They are doing, and as you can see, this is accident emergency. We have so many emergency cases, and they are well attended to.
Reports show that without the work of those on essential duty, society might not function properly. In Kaduna, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
Eid al-Fitr celebration has come and gone, but its memories will continue to linger in the minds of people of Zazzau and environs. As the Emir of Zazzau, Malam Ahmad Nuhu Bamali, wrapped up the celebration with Hawan Daushi. Let's hear more from Sagir Awal.
How
Hawan has been a long-standing tradition in Zazzau Emirates which spanned for many years. Usually, the Emir of Zazzau organized the event 2 days after to mark the end of the celebration. It was a display of royalty at best, as each district head and traditional title holder with their various contingent display skills to the admiration of the spectators.
But Zaria is part of my home, so it feels very comfortable, and the outing is amazing. The room is long, beautiful, all the lovely people, it's just amazing.
It shows that the people, are excited and are really happy to be part of this long-standing history, which has been part of our tradition.
This is the first time I have to celebrate this with you. It's very exciting. I've never been in anything like this.
Hawan is devoid of usual speeches but purely display of royalty and an avenue for the Emir to receive homage from his people. The Kaduna State Governor-elect Senator Obasani among hundreds of people that witnessed this year's Hawan from Zazzau Emirate, NTA News.
And that beautiful sight of Hawan completes our package from here. When pause for another break, and thereafter, Larry from our Ibadan network will join you shortly. Thanks.
Watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. Beneficiaries of the free train service provided by the Osun State government for Eid al-Fitr celebration has commended Governor Ademola Adeleke for allowing them enjoy the celebration with their loved ones. They expressed their joy with the program as the train departs Osogbo terminus this Monday morning back to Lagos. Femi Afariogun reports.
After enjoying the Eid al-Fitr celebration with their loved ones, it is time for the holiday makers to return through the Osun free train service back to Lagos. Beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the state government for making their holiday worthwhile.
So as we went to Osogbo and we see the program, we even like the way the man did it. So, and God will continue to help the governor.
As they are doing this program, we want them to continue, and we want other state governors to imitate what the Osun State governor is doing.
More than 1,000 passengers were on board from Osogbo terminus to Lagos.
And I want to assure the people of Osun State that Imole free train ride has come to stay.
People in Osun State, and this government is centered on the people. And I want to assure the people of Osun State, those that are living within and outside the state, that they should expect this program to continue, and the next festive period, we are going to bring them back home.
The Imole free train service is expected back in Osogbo during the Eid al-Kabir celebration. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army is promising proficiency, skill enhancement, quality training of personnel to attain high level of professionalism and best global practice in the face of current security challenges in the country. The General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Nigerian Army, General Obinna Ajunwa, stated these at the closing ceremony of the 2023 Inter-Brigade Combat and Below Proficiency Competitions held at the training ground of the 35 Artillery Brigade, Alamala, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Sheyi Ogunbayo's report is presented in this package.
It was a rigorous and competitive process for 240 officers of the 4 brigades of the 81 Division Nigerian Army, including 81 Division Garrison, 9 Brigade, 45 Artillery Brigade, and the host 35 Artillery Brigade, as they participated in proficiency enhancing competitions. 81 Division Garrison, having scored a total of 460 points, were declared the overall winner of the competition, while 35 Artillery Brigade with 440 points became first runner-up and 9 Brigades second runner-up. Addressing the participants, the General Officer Commanding 81 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Obinna Ajunwa, representative says the The competition has achieved its purpose, which is to improve strength, confidence, and combat readiness of the officers to face any security challenge.
We all continue to train to meet the Chief of Army Staff's vision, which is to have a professional Nigerian Army ready to accomplish missions within a joint environment in defense of Nigeria.
The aim is to assess the physical fitness for our soldiers to ensure that they are fit to carry out any assigned mission.
Highlights of the event include the presentation of individual prizes, awards of recognition to umpires, and many others.
Those are the best report at this hour. Nationwide continues in Abuja studios, where Ruth is standing by. Ruth, over to you.
Thank you very much, Larry. Good to see you. Evacuation flights were continued early Monday with hundreds of people flown out overnight on military aircraft. Foreigners also fled the capital, Khartoum, in a long United Nations convoy, while millions of residents running low on food and water remain trapped inside their homes. Charles Alpha brings us details now.
US, China, Germany, France, and other European special forces have launched a rescue mission for embassy staff and their relatives, sweeping in with Chinook helicopters to fly them to a military base in Djibouti. U.S. forces will remain deployed in Djibouti to protect United States personnel and others until the security situation no longer requires their presence, President Joe Biden said on Sunday in a letter to the Speaker of the House. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said UK forces had also rescued diplomats and their families, while Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said his country had temporarily suspended its evacuation operation.
The best thing that we can do to support British nationals and indeed everyone in Sudan is push the generals involved in this conflict to bring it to an end, and that will remain the priority of our diplomatic focus in the region.
Today we're talking about 343 Jordanian citizens who were evacuated from Sudan, in addition to a number of Arab brothers from Palestine, Iraq, Syria, and there are 2 citizens of Germany.
Across the city of 5 million, army and paramilitary troops have fought ferocious street battles since April 15, leaving behind charged tanks, gutted buildings and looted shops. More than 420 people have been killed and thousands wounded, according to United Nations figures, amid fears of wider turmoil and a humanitarian disaster in one of the world's poorest nations. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Sports update is next.
Coach of the under-17 national team, the Golden Eaglet, Nduka Ngbadi, says the team is mentally and tactically prepared to bring honors to Nigeria as the Eaglets set to begin their campaign in this year's CAF Under-17 Cup of Nations in Nigeria.
Hopefully, with all faith and all technicalities and tactical discipline in place, with our mental strength and capacity to do incredible things like we've done before, we might again do great things. This is what I believe.
The team, which is already in Nigeria, is poised to overcome their Group B opponents, Morocco, South Africa, and Zambia, as they set their eyes on the Continental Trophy. Meanwhile, Rivers United's hope of qualifying for the semi-finals of the CAF Confederation Cup now hangs by a tiny thread after they were beaten 2-0 at home by Young Africans of Tanzania in their quarter-final first leg on Sunday. Democratic Republic of Congo forward Fiston Mayele scored a brace in New York as the Nigerian champions now have a huge mountain to climb in the second leg in Dar es Salaam next Sunday.
We have enough rest and we have all our preparations in top gear. We will be able to go there and also surprise them.
And finally, Iga Swiatek and Carlos Alcaraz won in straight sets to retain their titles in Stuttgart and Barcelona. Polish world number 1 Iga Swiatek beat world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus 6-3, 6-4 in a repeat of last year's final. In Spain, Alcaraz breezed past Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece 6-3, 6-4 to win the tournament without dropping a set. It was the third title of the season for the 19-year-old Spaniard, following wins in Argentina and Indian Wells. It was the first time a women's world number 1 had faced the number 2 on clay since Serena Williams beat Maria Sharapova in the 2013 French Open final. With sport updates, Clement Oloruntoba, NTA News.
We're done with Nationwide, and we do appreciate your company. Do have a pleasant evening. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.